paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, that's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Brainstorm Brewery. We're coming to you with another very special episode. We made it a week without any more bannings. That's a novelty these days. So welcome in, everybody. I'm Corbin Hostler. I'm joined, as always, by DJ Douglas Johnson and Jason Alt himself. I didn't hear the beer crack, though, Jason.
I did it in the mic. I don't know what to tell you, dog.
Okay. All right, there you go. A big luscious. Is that the name of that?
Yeah, man. It's I'm excited to try this. It's a new Founders chocolate covered raspberry stout. Gonna insert it into my face right now while we podcast. And hey, does Jason sound a little lubricated at the very start of the podcast? We were recording a 2-hour EDH stream that you can find if you go to youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery. You can find a log of all of our Monday and Wednesday game extravaganzas. And I've been at it since 7:30, so
well, there you go. Well, welcome in, everybody. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to start with the leaks. We're not going to get into all the details of them. We're going to talk about it. Then there was some more drama surrounding Secret Lairs. And this time, though, it actually is worth discussing, I think. So we'll hit that. All your favorite segments and more. Let's jump right into it. We saw even more of Commander Legends hit the internet in the last few days. The pandemic seems to have made the leaks even worse.
Yeah. We don't see, here's the deal. Our hands are basically... Our hands have been forced because we don't want to talk about this stuff, but like it's out there and it, like people want our advice now. So
well, and I don't even want to get into the detailed specifics of this card does this card does that. But it's such a feel bad because the correct thing to do, air quotes, correct thing to do, whether you want to look at them or not, is to look at them because you should at the very least see what's getting reprinted. So you either don't buy a card that's getting reprinted and it's about to be cheaper, or you maybe sell yours while you can, that sort of thing, right? It's a thing where you only lose. There's no way to win, basically, right? And there's several ways to lose. So leaks just suck, and it ruins it for the content creators and all of that.
I really hope the next leak is just a video that WotC leaks of like them kicking down the dude's house and pouring acid on him.
Well, and that's the thing maybe that people don't realize is that these leaks are not a small thing. Everyone's like, oh, they posted them on Reddit or they posted them on YouTube. They got that karma. No, it's not karma that's at stake here. This is intellectual property worth a lot of money. It is a real crime to take stuff out of a warehouse to leak it on the internet. There's NDAs up and down the entire process.
There's no proof that like somebody took them or like whether it was like because there have been leaks in the past. There's been a lot of leaks in the past, which is really interesting because like games like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh don't have these leaks. So it's specifically Wizards of the Coast distribution and supply chain that has like cannon-sized holes in the ship.
I wasn't aware of that. If that's true,
what do you mean? If it's
about those games? I'm saying I wasn't aware of that at all. Knowing that about them.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't know anything about those games.
Yeah,
like that's just the way that it's like leaks.
I guess I never really thought about it, but I just kind of assumed that it was any product or any game, right? If someone can leak it, they're going to. But knowing that they don't face the same issues along the supply line the Wizards does is actually really interesting.
I mean, video games have leaks too. It's much more rare. Like League of Legends has had leaks over the past where like upcoming champions or skins or stuff like that gets leaked. But the ramifications for the player base aren't nearly as huge as it is for Magic, especially because like the secondary market and all that stuff. But like,
well, and here's a next level to it. I'll hit you guys with. How do you feel about data mining for websites and checking trademark and domain name registrations?
I don't like having stuff spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, like, I know that they're doing some
no
thing in the future, like, I get to be upset about that for an extra year.
Well, maybe JJ should bleep that out. That's what I was referring to, but I don't know. Do we want to keep people in suspense? Because if they're hearing from it from the first time, I don't want it to be us.
That's fine. Bleep that out.
Yeah, so just bleep the name of it, JJ. But yeah, I mean, people either know what we're talking about or they can look it up. But
they're gonna read my lips. They're gonna see
data
them
mining.
No, JJ can add a little black bar.
Oh, you gotta put a black bar too.
We're gonna blur out your mouth specifically.
Okay, let me get this straight. You're gonna put a black bar over my mouth so people can't read my lips, and you're gonna bleep out what I'm saying. Why am I being the one censored here when I'm not the leaker? The other person that said, "Hey, everyone."
No.
That person's the leaker. I'm not the leaker. Why are you punishing me by bleeping out my mouth and my voice when I say?
No.
You are certainly giving JJ some work.
Well, I mean, I kind of got off my original point earlier.
Yeah, go ahead, DJ.
They've had leaks in the past, and they've had them through various different issues, and I guess just origins and sources and whatever. Like the new Phyrexia leak was back when they gave the God book, and a God book is just a PDF of the entire set. They would give that to pro players in the past, so that when those pro players wrote articles and published them in physical media, that was a thing. Like there was.
The way that went is kind of the other. I mean, you're right, but they weren't given them because they were pro players. They were given them because they were editors of a magazine that needed the information a month in advance in order to get it physically printed. They just happened to be pro players, which then led to
they were writers for the
chain
magazine
reaction.
who wrote like strategy articles, and they were writers for the magazine because they were good at the game. Like it's
it was maybe not the best idea.
Well, there was that, the new Phyrexia leak, and then before that there were other leaks with like the Ixalan sheet, and that one was like somebody physically took a sheet out of a warehouse. That one was like way different.
Yeah.
And then even before that, there was an earlier leak way back in the day on MTG Salvation from somebody whose real name is... What?
Rancored Elf?
Yeah, I was going to say...
You talking Rancored Elf? That was like 2003.
Right. But like, that's what I'm saying, is this has been a recurring issue in Magic for literal decades.
But, you know what? To Wizards' credit, the whole Rancored Elf thing, what they ended up doing was like, wow, this set sold really well when people could get excited about it. So they're like, instead of being like, well, let's hope nothing ever leaks and then people have to buy every card to see what's in the set, why don't we get the anticipation building and release this stuff in a steady stream to build up the hype for the set? And that's worked great. And when people disrupt that economy, I don't like it because we're part of that chain. We are such good content producers. They give us busted cards to preview that end up getting banned later. That's how much they like us. So
I do have to say that last week's episode was one of my favorite titles. You can ban our preview card, but you'll never take our podcast.
So like, it's not just like, oh no, our preview, we got 117 views on that YouTube video. Like, it's not about that for us. But like, the spoilers are like some dude just coming up to my daughter at the mall and being like, Santa Claus isn't real, and then just like walking away. It's like,
Jason, children listen to this podcast.
The guy's like 11. He already knows there's no Santa. If he listens to this podcast, he's jaded and cynical, just like whoever showed it to him in the first place.
For sure. No, you're right though. It is what it is. The leaks are no fun. So we're not going to discuss them specifically. Just I guess if there's more out there, you may want to go keep an eye on the reprints, if nothing else.
Oh, and I didn't leak it. Why are you putting a black bar over my mouth and beeping out when I say... No. That's not even really a spoiler. It's messed up.
You're right about that, Jason. Let's move on to Breaking Bulk.
Breaking Bulk time. Breaking Bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. breaking bulk. The end.
All right, I'll jump in first here. I have a Zendikar uncommon. That's original Zendikar. Colorless uncommon.
Colin.
Is it Trusty Machete? No, the boots.
Colony
It is not. No, not Colony Gem, not the machete.
Jeez.
What else did you say?
Trailblazer boots.
Yes, it is.
I
Trailblazers
said the boots.
That's what I just asked you. I knew you said something. I didn't hear. I couldn't make it out. I asked you what you said, man.
No, you said no when I said it. You said no when I said it.
Trailblazers boots is 2 mana equipment, 2 to equip. Equip creature has non-basic landwalk. Now, I thought we talked about this card before, but it was not in the pick of the week. I'm sorry, the Breaking Bolt sheet for this year.
The years blend together when you podcast for
now.
When
Corbin refers to the spreadsheet, he's referring to the document that everyone who goes to patreon.com/BSB and gives us $10 a month, which is $2 or $2.50 per episode, have access to the sheet where on Monday night when we record the podcast, we log our breakings bulk and picks of the week in the spreadsheet, so you can have access to that and see it early before the episode comes out. And if you wanted to buy early on that information, you could, but you could also track it year round and see who's the best at this. I am, and kind of see who's the worst at this, Corbin. So if you wanted to go to patreon.com/BSB and subscribe at that tier, you could have access to that information way before everyone who waits for the physical podcast to come out, and that's something worth doing. And we log the stuff immediately, and I don't know why I reemphasize that point. It's not important. Take it away, DJ, with your pick of the week, with your pick of the breaking bulk of the week.
My pick of the breaking sudden substitution of the month is a white Commander 2014 rare.
Is 2014 the all-white deck?
Correct.
A rare.
So it's a mono white card from C14.
All those C14 cards, it's all like all the art looks the same, and everything is like a 3 mana and 3 colors and 3 colored mana, like big sorcery that does something that no one's read.
What you said? It's a rare.
Correct.
What's the card type?
Instant. So it's a white Commander 2014.
I'm gonna go with comeuppance.
You're gonna go with what?
Comeuppance?
That card's way too expensive. That card's been expensive forever. It is the same mana cost though. So now you have mana cost card type.
Is it the offering thing?
Yep. Benevolent Offering.
Oh, no.
There you go.
This is a cycle of rares that were in C14. All of them say choose an opponent. You and that player each do X. And then you're generally going to get a better effect off of it because you're picking whose stuff goes where and whose abilities get what. Benevolent Offering is 3 and a white, instant. Choose an opponent. You and that player each put 3 1/1 white flying spirits out of the battlefield, and then you choose an opponent. You and that player each gain 2 life for each creature you control. So you get some spirits, you get some life. Somebody else gets some spirits. Somebody else gets some life. You can split it.
There you go for your NEAS deck.
That sounds like an NEAS card to me. Yeah.
Are you not playing this?
No.
Oh, well, you should.
I'm playing good cards.
It seems fine.
It's an instant speed way to make 3 flyers.
That's a good point. It is an instant. It's got that over Spectral Procession, and it's got 3
you would just
over
play it. It seems like, I don't know if you cut Spectral Procession, but you play them both probably. Seems solid. All right, Jason, what about you?
I have not a banned set, but a frowned upon set.
Okay.
Urza's, for Corbin, Urza's Gears.
Oh,
for everybody else, Urza's Saga.
Favorite. Yeah. Urza's Gears. Let's hit me.
This is a green uncommon.
Argothian Elder. I got it, didn't I?
Not necessarily.
It sounds like maybe you got it. Jason, you care to weigh in on the subject?
So what DJ knows, and you're about to find out, is that Argothian Elder says untap 2 target lands, and apparently that's busted, even though Layweaver exist and whatever, Argothian Elder. It's a card and it's $3 retail, which is insane. So
wow, this card
it's old.
This card blew up.
Well, Ashaya is the number 2 most popular commander deck, and I think Ashaya is fun. I think people took a bit to figure out what kind of dumb stuff they could do with Ashaya.
Mm-hmm.
Your non-token creatures are forest lands in addition to their other types. So, like, we're figuring stuff out. So if my creatures are forest, could I untap them with Argothian Elder? You can, in fact. Quirion Ranger went up as a result of this. Scrib Ranger went up as a result. Even Layweaver is like a pick now. So, get your Timber Protectors because they make all your creatures indestructible all of a sudden. Ashaya is just a goofy, dumb, fun deck, and like you need stuff like that, but it's also pretty powerful. You're making everything a forest, all of a sudden there's some really powerful stuff you can do. So use Argothian Elder to untap 2 creatures if you want. Seems pretty strong. So
on the subject, I will say I am excited about Commander Legends in the sense that it's been a minute, but I'm looking to build a new commander deck. I think it's been at least a year since I built my Keranos deck, which was my most recent one.
Wow.
So I've got my eye on some stuff here. So Jason starts talking about stuff popping off on EDH Rec. I'm kind of curious. It's been a long time since I built a new deck. It'll be fun. Especially now that we're playing on webcam every week. I get to play with kind of a little bit of a different play group sometimes. Looking forward to building something new.
Yeah. You'll have ample opportunity to get new decks because there are going to be 1,500 plus new possible decks.
That's a good way to put it. It's a lot of combinations with the partner commanders.
If I sound tired, it's because I work at EDH Rec, and like that's a thing we have to deal with. Like you're gonna do a page for every partner combination. We're like, no, you're gonna have to make some decks first. Like if we're not making a page for people playing 2 decks, it's like Baron Sengir and the whistle thing, the Seb McKinnon thing that you get.
Yeah, the 5-mana thing or whatever. Yeah,
we're not making a page for that shit. No one's like, it's mono black and also any color.
No one's combining Thrasios with Baron Sengir. Like,
challenge accepted.
It's my Vampire Merfolk deck.
Challenge accepted. Vampiric Merfolk would be sweet. Are vampires harmed by running water?
What?
Is that a
thing? That's a thing. Back me up. YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery and write in the comments that like it's canon that running water is one of the things that vampires are harmed by. That's a thing.
I don't know, man. I watched a couple.
The documentary Blade. That's what you were going to say, right? You were going to say the documentary Blade Trinity.
No, I was going to say the documentary Mom Has a Date with a Vampire.
Oh, okay.
I've played a lot of RuneScape recently, and the vampires in that game are not impacted by standard running water, but holy water.
Yeah, man, it's the holy water that matters here, Jason.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
Unless you mean when they're in like bat form and the running water could just like knock them out because bats have brittle bones.
Why would bats go near running water? They're more mobile than a humanoid.
I don't know, man.
That's just
look like they jerk around when they fly.
That's a real
Maybe not very good
decision.
At flying. Jason has experience in the past with monkeys or whatever it is you handled. I actually have some experience with bats. I've done a fair amount of spelunking in my time.
Spelunking.
Yeah, that means cave diving.
Corbin, have you ever played Spelunky?
I have not. However,
I'll 1v1 you in Spelunky.
I don't know what that means. However, I am a professional-ish cave diver. I've done a lot of cave diving.
Yeah, Spelunky's you can infer what the game is about.
Is it a card game or something like that?
It's a platformer
called Spelunky.
Okay.
You
can 1v1 people.
We're playing Spelunky on stream soon.
Well, if The Walking Dead wasn't enough, we have more to talk about from Secret Lairs.
How dare they? How dare they give money from people
Stay with me here. Stay with me here. The current hubbub is that Wizards is doing a charity secret lair in the sense that they will charge you double for the secret lair.
I think they did this last year too.
And they will then donate the proceeds to charity.
Extra Life.
To Extra Life, which is an incredible charity.
Why are we mad?
I think
Nobody is.
we're not. The internet seemed to be.
Wait, what? No, what are you talking about?
Why are they mad?
I actually, all of the reception I've seen of this has been positive. I actually don't.
No, there's no way all of the reception was positive. There's always going to be.
all of the reception I've seen.
How is my Twitter timeline the one that just always gets the drama?
I said the reception I've seen has all been positive, so I'm actually curious what you're referring
You only
to.
fight with Twitter eggs until they block you. Like, what's your Twitter feed? Is it like me?
No,
and
I don't.
Corbin?
Look, I literally don't even comment on Twitter. I just know that people were upset about this. Here's the thing, DJ. This is the thing is, and this is a valid point, right? And honestly, one that up until recently I hadn't considered. You know, if you're in line somewhere and somewhere asks, hey, dude, would you like to round up for charity? And they're like, oh, it's like 37 cents. Of course I will. Well, what happens is that company then gets to donate your money to charity.
Oh yeah,
on their behalf.
This is the thing I've heard. Yeah, I've heard this last year.
Right.
The thing where, they basically get to float your money for a year.
Yeah, like they get to then donate your money to charity, and they get the tax write-off for it. You're literally helping them avoid taxes, and yes, the money's going to charity, which is great. But why not give it to charity yourself at that point without benefiting a corporation? That's the idea. So that's the argument that people are making, and the fact that Wizards isn't actually taking a lower cut here. They're just charging double. So it's not even like Wizards is cutting into their own profits to donate to Extra Life. They're simply adding on the Extra Life donation to your purchase of their new secret lair.
I remember this coming up last year. I don't remember which secret lair it was in 2019, but I do remember that this came up last year because the TLDR of that is that, like, when you donate the money to charity through Wizards, like, they basically just get to float your money because based on how the legal donation system works, they don't have to donate it until the end of the year. So they kind of just get, like, an interest-free loan from you to work with whatever they want, and then they have to donate the flat amount after a certain date. So, like, they get to float your extra $30 and play with it however they want until the deadline.
So anyways, I mean, that's the discussion about it. I will say the actual cards are really cool. They're all family-themed. Nefarious Protection.
Yeah, like, the card choices are great.
I love it. I love the art on these cards. I'm going to be honest, I think this might be the first secret lair I order. Just because of how I would love to have a promo to Nefarious Protection, and these look like a great opportunity to do so.
You didn't buy any Walking Dead ones?
I did not. No, I did not go chasing that. Did not go chasing that neon rainbow, as they say.
They were available for
Who
so
says
long.
that?
Alan Jackson.
He's either a high school football coach or a country musician.
Country musician is
or
the
both.
Could be
How
both.
you revere high school football coaches in Oklahoma.
Chasing that neon rainbow, living that honky-tonk dream. Because baby, all I've ever wanted is to pick this guitar and sing.
Wait, I'm an admin in this. I can mute Corbin.
Just
I forgot about
trying to be
that.
somebody.
I forgot about that.
You
Trying
can
to
mute
be
him in
heard and
Discord?
seen.
Nice, but you can't.
Chasing that neon rainbow,
Oh, this is so much better.
living that honky-tonk
I can mute
dream.
Corbin. I forgot about this.
I'm done now.
I can
DJ.
still hear him.
I'm done now,
Ah.
DJ.
I can still hear him.
I'll server mute him.
Oh, he's server muted. Good. But so what's going on is, like, he's still being recorded by Audacity, so the listeners can hear him, but we can't, and that's how we should do the rest of the episode.
Well, This is a good episode. I like this now.
Yeah.
Me too.
I can de-admin you whenever I want.
This cast
Jason did not expect
off
me to have an answer there, but I
the
did.
rails.
I was ready. I was ready for that question. All right. We've been telling you for a few weeks about our friends over at the Original Magic Art Store. And today we want to actually take that a step farther. We love what they've going on over there. We love the access to artwork. They now have over 100 artists on the website. It's a big achievement. And we have actually an affiliated account over there that gives you a discount. So if you are interested in any of those things we've talked about before, getting the prints of arts, getting play mats, any of the stuff you want, you can just go to originalmagicart.store/Brainstorm Brewery, or you can just add the discount code BrewCrew to your checkout at the store to save 10% on every order of $10 or more. So look, this is a great website that we are talking about because we really do think they do great work and love, as we've talked about before, what they've added to the market in terms of bringing art to people and connecting people with an aspect of magic that they love. So a couple of the recent additions include Angel of Destiny, Knight of Autumn, Ugin, Valakut Awakening, Imri, lots of great stuff. So please go to originalmagicart.store/Brainstorm Brewery. Check out everything they have to offer.
So since we have that affiliate link set up, we feel it's just like another way for you to support the podcast. If you're not interested in being a patron at patreon.com/BSB, or go into the YouTube and giving us the old like, subscribe, finger blast, bell icon, etc. If you were going to buy some original magic art anyway, which it's you might, because there's good stuff on there. If you use that affiliate link, that's just another way to get something you were going to get anyway, and also support this podcast. So, it's enough for us that you're just listening to our dumb podcast about a children's card game. But if you did want to further support this podcast by purchasing some gorgeous original magic art, if you use the affiliate link, you can accomplish 2 goals at once. And we really thank you for listening.
We are all about efficiency.
That's what I think of when I think of this podcast as efficiency.
This podcast could be 20 minutes if all we did was pick of the week. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of efficiency, we could call it something fast, like a fast podcast.
Finance quickly, and we could just strip this down to the nuts and bolts. And I feel like if we cut out all the superfluous chatter and just focus on the finance, we could get this cast down to 3 hours.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Speaking of how efficient we are.
Also, we could rename the cast to something like efficiently, but it's like the word fish is in there, so Corbin gets the fish, like the merfolk.
I like where your head's at, DJ. And you know what? We could build on that. That's good marketing. We could start selling fish stuff. We could sell like fish sticks. Brainstorm Brewery fish sticks. I like where you're going here.
We could get sued by MTG Goldfish.
Oh, we could get sued. That's true.
I would love to get sued by MTG Goldfish.
Get a little lawsuit on the side.
Just to go into court with MTG Goldfish and be like...
Think about it, man.
You can't handle the truth. Just berate their lawyer. Like, with some courtroom stuff that I saw in a movie. I think that would be...
What is Seth going to do? Comb his beard? Speaking of how efficient we are, DJ, why don't you go ahead and break out this very recent email?
This email comes to us from Tapped and Ready. Hey, Jason, DJ, Corbin. I love your streams on Twitch. I don't miss an episode. Well, you've missed a lot of them if you're watching on Twitch.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, guys. What's the best way to start buying collections during this COVID mess? I play EDH at my LGS weekly, but otherwise I don't have a huge network of sellers in my path. Is eBay, Craigslist, etc. a good way to start? P.S. Jason, please drink a beer for me on Steam or on stream. LOL. Thanks for everything you do for the Magic community.
For you, I will drink 4 beers on stream. How's that sound?
Well, thank you for listening to the show. It is true. We are currently streaming on YouTube. However, we might be moving to Twitch in the future, so keep an eye out for that.
Ooh, it's a scoop. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. We decide if we're gonna stream enough, we may as well do it on Twitch where everyone else is, where we've come a long way in the past couple months at how much
it makes it sound like we just made a bad decision and doubled down on it, but in reality we had our reasons for being on YouTube, and if we moved to Twitch, we had our reasons for moving to Twitch. And you know what, we don't have to justify ourselves to you. You're a fan of our podcast. You have terrible taste.
So as for the email,
yes,
I would not consider buying collections in person, really, unless you are taking an extreme level of precautions and unless the collection outweighs the risk. Like, I've bought a couple collections in person, but they've both been much larger deals, I guess is the best way to put it, where it's worth taking the extra precautions to continue to put food on my table, because we live in a country that doesn't support its inhabitants during a pandemic. But that's
look, we got $1,200. If you can't make that last 8 months, it's because you're not scrimping and saving it.
But
go ahead.
So the best way to start buying collections, if you're not like, if you're in a position where you've never bought a collection and you're looking to start during COVID, my advice to you would be the same as it is not during a pandemic, and that is to just be active on the social media platforms, active in your local Facebook groups, and just be the person who is ready to send a DM to somebody who's looking to sell out, because this is a financial situation where some people are going to be looking to move their liquid cardboard into food and gas and personal protective equipment, like if they're teachers or something like that. So I would just be the person who's like, yeah, I'm ready. I have a mailing address. You can ship me these cards. I wouldn't really go into the deeper Facebook groups, the larger ones that focus on just like the entire country, where it's like Magic the Gathering, parentheses, EDH, star, Commander or whatever. But I would just focus on the local groups and just build from there.
Yeah, everything is local that you want to look at. It also goes, you said that you play Commander or LGS. Look, COVID aside, the advice is you can also let people know that it's not, I'm not trying to advocate going underneath a store or anything like that. But when you're playing Commander with people, you just say something. Hey, if you're ever looking to sell anything, I'd be interested. I'll give you a better deal than whatever you could get. Hey, if you're interested, just put it out there, because then you never know who's going to reach out to you. But after that, yeah, you got to look at those local groups. I would never look at eBay. That's a bad idea. Craigslist is hit or miss.
Craigslist can work.
But honestly, Facebook local Magic groups, that's the most common outlet for people who are looking to sell Magic cards in a hurry, just because it's kind of what people in the the age brackets use. And there's the marketplace on Facebook, and it's a lot simpler than Craigslist or eBay or anything like that. So that's why those typically tend to be the best places to pick up collections.
I have business cards to give to people who you deal with, because they can give it to somebody else. Word of mouth is where I get a lot of my...
Yeah, eventually your goal is to build up to be the point where a reasonable number of collections that are being sold, somebody's going to say, well, I sold my stuff to X, and you can go to X too. They were good for me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just a process of building it up. Absolutely. It's...
Yeah, like
I honestly have too many collections thrown at me sometimes for how fast I can get through stuff these days. But that's, it's taken a decade of being the person who's always buying and selling cards.
Yeah. But just having cash on hand is key. But
you just
prioritize not robbing your LGS, because
yes,
you want your LGS to stay open and healthy and be a place for you to conquer.
You're not trying to take business away from them. You're trying to get business that was not going to go to them.
Correct.
You can,
when people want to,
if your LGS is a place that doesn't really enjoy or want to do singles, you can build that bridge and open that door and say, like, hey, if you don't want to spend your hours pricing cards and investing capital into Magic card singles and constantly trying to price stuff and keep up to date on this, let me do it. I'll give you X%, and then all of the labor is pulled off of you, and now you have a guy to do singles with. So
yeah, that's an option as well. So and the other thing to remember is that when people sell collections, a lot of times stores don't really like to buy collections per se. Stores like to buy cards from people. You want a stack of cards this thick. These are the ones I'm going to scan. I'm going to give you money for these. Now I'm going to put these directly in my case. I'm going to sell them. They don't want to buy here's the 5 boxes that are in my room.
Yeah.
Just being the person who is willing to go there. Obviously, pandemic is a thing, precautions if you're going to be doing any of this, et cetera. But the LGS isn't going to this person's house and helping them carry the boxes out to the car and talking to them for an hour about their decks and all this, right? That's generally kind of how the collection selling experience goes versus the buying and selling of cards. Yeah. And that's why you're able to fill a niche that an LGS can't.
Because they just want to churn singles, and that's fine.
And they can't. They're not making house calls, right?
They're working what you're buying, as long as you don't overpay. As long as you pay less than you're going to sell the cards for, doesn't matter. The LGS wants the hot singles that are going to move. You don't care. You take everything else and you just flip it. And if that doesn't sound appealing to you, it's because it's not. But we all do it.
But it is, I mean, to be fair, it is appealing to me, right? If we get past the money and the time and just sort of the grind and all of these different things we talk about, I just love picking cards. I love the idea, I pluck something out and my son wants to scan it and he scans and he goes, oh, is it worth money? I'm like, yeah, this card's $2, Ben. That's great. And it's
this is called Gaia's Cradle. This shouldn't be in bulk. Look at this thing that happens.
Gaia's Cradle yet for me. It happens to me a couple times, just twice, only twice.
There's Jason's making our new
emote face.
I made an emote in the Discord and in the Twitch channel for you.
It's a hell of a life you lead.
Anyways, I hope that answers the question. As far as pandemic specific advice goes, what DJ I think has been doing very successfully is just getting old fashioned, send me a spreadsheet, right? Or just send me a box.
I have a Google sheet that I have people fill out.
He's got a system. There you go. So if you are looking to sell, you can also
cardgardenmtg@gmail.com.
All right. Well, of course, another option would be go to our generous sponsor, channelfireball.com, your best place for Magic content.
Do you not want to fill out a spreadsheet? Nobody wants to fill out nobody wants to here's a Google sheet. Here's what you want to do. You want to take a bunch of crap, throw it in a box, shut that lid, make sure it shuts tightly, wrap the whole thing in tape, slap an address label on it, go to the post office and say, how many money? And they'll be like, approximately $13, probably, I don't know. Why don't you put this in a flat rate? And you're like, no time to talk to you, lady. Then you just drop it in the mail. Channel Fireball get it, and they'll open it up, and they'll be like, okay, this is what we wanted. Good. And they will set sort, they will alphabetize, they will price the stuff, and they will send you a check, and you'll be like, I got some money. It's more than the postage was, and you'll be really happy because you did so little work. And Channel Fireball's like, we did all the work. Can we take some of the money? And you'll be like, all right, you get there, Channel Fireball.
And in exchange, they will allow you to channel your fireballs.
Ball all your fires into a channel with the fireballchannel.com ball list for buy channeling your fires. If you would like to ball list your cards instead of buy listing them, put them in a box and just say, write Channel Fireball on there in Sharpie and release Channel Fireball list. Just put it, just take it to the post office and be like, are you going to deliver this? And then be like, no. Be like, write not a ballot on the box. Just make it very clear. It's like, this is a box of unsorted Magic cards, not a ballot for Joe Biden. And they'll be like, oh, well, we'll actually deliver this then. And then they will send it to our generous sponsor, ballfirechannel.ball, and they will do all the set sorting and alphabetizing, and they will just send you back a check. They'll write, this isn't a ballot either. This is a check. And then it'll get thrown in the river because they're like, it's paper. It's probably a ballot. But hey, the important thing is you didn't have to do any work. Like, yeah, your money was thrown away, right? And you don't have the cards anymore. But the important thing is that fireballchannels.channel got their value from sorting your cards for you. So if you were someone that looks at a stack of cards that is not set, sorted, and alphabetized, and then your eyes glaze over, consider balling all your channels over to firechannel.ball, and they will take your cards, and then the post office will throw your check away. And then if you got insurance, you could fight them for the next 2.5 years and eventually get a fraction of what you were owed. So doesn't that sound cool? So if that's appealing to you,
and I think it is.
What's the website? Corbin knows the website. Don't ask me. All I know is that Channel Buyer Falls. They're buyers. Be a seller at Channel Buyers, and they will channel buy all your magical falls. You did it. Good luck.
No, Jason, you did it.
I did it.
I'm going to do a pick of the week.
Do we have to after that?
Can't we just retire?
We should honestly just shut it down.
Can't JJ just magically put the pick of the week before whatever that was?
Man.
Pick of the week.
week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm going to pick Crypt Breaker from Eldritch Moon. It's $3. It's up from $2.50. It's a zombie. It's a good zombie. There have actually been some sightings of zombies in Pioneer and Modern even. So look out for that on a future Mighty Modern episode at Cool Stuff's YouTube channel. But also maybe go to Channel Fireball and look at some Crypt Breakers at $3. It's a very nice price.
Cool. I have
Jason,
a card that is not my original intellectual property. I will just put that out there. I have had several, as in half a dozen people ask me about this card specifically on the basis of Ashaya, which is the number 2 card, most built commander on EDH Rec. People are asking me about Manescape Refractor because when everything is a land, Manescape Refractor has all the abilities of all your creatures as well as all of your lands. And people are asking, hey, could this be a thing in Ashaya? And if you go to edhrec.com, it's not right now, but that doesn't mean it won't be. All it takes is game nights. Yeah. It's a $1 card right now. I think it's a very low risk buy-in. I think that's probably about the floor for a card from this set. It's an Ikoria card. Sorry, so a card from Ikoria, like a buck on a rare. Like it can go lower, but like it
seems
it's a
very
good
good
card. Like it's a Cabal Coffers or a Gaia's Cradle at minimum. It's like people play Thespian Stage just to like copy a Nykthos Shrine of Nyx. So Manescape Refractor just being colorless and able to go in any deck, it's got a lot going for it.
Well, and also
and even if it doesn't take off as a shy attack, I don't know. I don't hate it.
It's also an artifact, right? Yeah. So it's much easier to untap than a land would be.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just card seems insane to me.
So it was a card that we all kind of liked, I think, but like it just whatever. It got lost in the shuffle of there being a new set every week.
Yeah.
And it's gone down to $1. I really think people could come around on it, but this wasn't my pick of the week. This was like a bunch of our listeners who like hit me up on Twitter and asked about this card. And you know what? I have become convinced by the wisdom of the crowd. So Manescape Refractor probably can't get cheaper. And if it does catch on in a big way, this goes from 1 to 5 like pretty quickly.
Okay. DJ?
I really like most versions of Nico Bolas a lot of the time, just because he is the arch enemy of arch enemies in Magic, at least in terms of single iconic villains.
Yeah.
And the Dragon God from War of the Spark specifically is down to around like $8. There's like a lot of foil variants, and there's a lot of crazy weird versions.
That's the Japanese version, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of just secret lairs. There's like a lot of different versions, but I still don't hate this at like $8. It just seems very low. And I think you could theoretically just like pick one of the weird versions, and that version could spike. Like it's the secret lair, the Mythic Edition, the SDCC. Like there's a lot of people that just like collect Bolosses. You'd be surprised. And
I mean, it's a super powerful Planeswalker though, and the price is steadied out at $8 on just the base version of it.
Like I picked the Ravager a while ago, and I still really like that one at like 20. Like I am not a Bolas collector, but I know a lot of people who are. So I don't hate Nico Bolas the Ravager at like $8, or I mean the Dragon God. I don't hate Nico Bolas Dragon God at $8. I don't hate Nico Bolas the Ravager at 20.
All right. Well, there you go, everybody. I think that's a podcast. We did a lot today. It's been a long Monday for us. Please, thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for giving us direction, for tuning in. We have been getting way more people than we expect on these streams, and we hope to do even more of that. We've got big stuff coming. By the way, we're deep at work on end of the year rewards. So also look for that in the next couple weeks, everybody. So
the stream viewers got a preview.
That's right. There was some sneak peeks happening. So you can go catch that VOD on YouTube if you want. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Until next week, we're Brainstorm Brewery.
And you're not.
That needs to be clipped and used somewhere. We're Brainstorm, and you're not. That was great.
That's how Chevy Chase used to sign off a Weekend Update.
Really?
I'm Chevy Chase and you're not.